Driven from their homes by armed invaders, a few hardy refugees faced the prospect of starting again. They would found a new village deep in the countryside. With a new settlement established, the first priority was locating a reliable food source. The simplest source was gathering from nature. With a healthy supply of food, the village could start to grow. To do so, it would need more hands to share the work. The new workforce could now turn to the growing village's needs. First, they would build a mill near their food source, so villagers could drop off gathered berries more easily.
Cheer, lass. Here's this. Where can they?
Next, the growing village would need wood to build with.
Yaru. Hestes. The growing community now had a steady supply of lumber. To make wood collection easier, villagers could erect a lumber camp near the forest.
Charles Yarwa. Somewhere. Where can?
Thanks to the camp, villagers no longer needed to travel as far to drop off lumber. The village now required additional houses to support its growing population.
Cheer, lass. Yeah. Eat your father. Where can they?
Yes, Amiende.
Good. Yeah.
With additional housing in place, even more villagers could join the workforce. But a populous village would soon exhaust the natural food sources. To grow, the community needed dedicated farms.
Yeah, work hard.
Dom.
Where can they? Yeah, they are telling that.
Woodsmen and farmers now kept the village well supplied. Further growth required knowing the countryside and finding more resources. For that, communities employed scouts.
Yarrow, each a wheeler. Queta. Yeah. Yeah. Can't wait.
Able to move quickly and see great distances, scouts were key to discovering new resources. The most important thing for a scout to locate was a ready source of gold.
Yarrow. Unrad. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To prevent having to haul ore large distances, expanding communities would establish a mining camp near the source of gold.
Hestes. Work and day. Yaru. Work and day. Aoth Talenda.
A well-placed camp ensured efficient gold mining.
Working day. Yeah. Working day. Here the working.
With a good supply of gold, the village was becoming a large town. The signpost of this growth would be the construction of a large landmark.
Yes, yes. They are telling it. Where done?
With the landmark in place, the once sleepy village announced itself as a thriving feudal township. The townsfolk had been driven from their homes before, however. This time, they would defend themselves. The first step would be constructing a barracks for infantry.
Working day on acre house. That should have been timber.
Once it had a barracks, the town could establish a standing force of soldiers. Simple infantrymen armed with spears were a common choice for these militias.
Yahweh. God, we got. Yes, sir. God, we got. Yes, sir. Yahweh. Yahweh. God, we got. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The town now had a militia and could look to reclaim the lands lost to invasion. The invaders had blocked the road north with a stout palisade. Although spears were of little use against these walls, the militia could burn down the obstacle with torches.
Yerwath Garwigan. Garu. Fera. Aster, got we got.
With the road open, the militia could now reclaim their lands in the north. First, the spearmen had to deal with a lone sentry.
Garwigan, Aseta. Cometh on.
Advancing aggressively, the militia eliminated the enemy sentry.
Mid-May.
The invaders had a small cavalry camp guarding the road, but the militia was ready to attack. The invaders' cavalry post was destroyed, but other enemy positions awaited further up the road. Hostile archers defended the next camp, which would put spearmen at a disadvantage. The township needed cavalry of its own to deal with this, and so would need to build stables. To deploy that cavalry quickly, the town needed to build their stables near the front lines. Fortunately, friendly villagers came out of hiding and joined the effort.
It's Libya!
With stables in place, the town could field horsemen of its own.
It's Libya! Ja, Janu. Hey, Janu, Janu. Wat did you do? Original. Vin Hester. Speel mee. Vin Hester. Hey, Janu. Ja, Janu. Ja, Janu. Speel mee. Vin Hester. Hey, Janu. Vin Hester. Ja, Janu. Speel mee.
The town now had a rapid light cavalry, skilled at harassing slower targets, such as archers.
Tremet Garu.
Yerward. Eoridas. Hellsborough. Yesadli Adopa. Ichafolier.
Garu Uba. Ritnu. Garu. Mid-May.
Gier, las hair? Yes. Churlas, Barrett fourth.
Hier, Garu. Askira. Garu, we got.
The cavalry eliminated the enemy archers and moved on to destroying the archery range itself.
Churlas, the yeah, in the Churlas.
The invaders' archers and their camp were destroyed. A final enemy emplacement remained, one fortified with palisades and defended by spearmen. To deal with this target, the town would need longbowmen.
First, they needed to build archery ranges in the area regained from the invaders. Once more, friendly villagers arrived to help.
Eat your worker! Cheer, that's your way on, you Soviet!
River, Aknawa!
Janwa, städ är fast vid Vichera! Jag sitter upp på färdas, AOE.
Under Troku!
Did you say it? Yes.
Garu upa. Cometh on.
Estes comete. Eat your worker.
Vera you were Racing up to the nest!
Charlas der Pende Hestum. That's Shula Bill Timbrad.
Word ya, eat your will.
Yarwa, you are. Eat your worker.
Yes, sir.
Aorenas Yahweh, eat your foliage.
With several archery ranges in place, the town could add longbowmen to its forces.
Strela Fuse. Strela Border, Yard. Failed at me. Flamboga and all rich. Strela Fuse. Failed at me. Strela Border, Yard. Failed at me.
Racing up to the nest!
Flamboga and all. Strela Fuse. Strela Border, Yard. Failed at me. Strela Fuse. Strela Border, Yard. Strela Border, Yard. Flamboga and all. Failed at me. Strela Fuse. Yeah, we have. Yes.
A strong force of archers could eliminate enemy spearmen at a distance, so long as they took the proper position.
Here at Ferret Aowe. Cometh on. A sneaker Conway. Letteth Usgan. Letteth Usgan. Cometh on. Yes, sir.
Abuga, Strela Border. Gath, Strela Border. Dida.
The last of the invaders fell to the resurgent homegrown population. Now that their lands were free of enemies, the town could take the next step in its growth and become a powerful medieval city.
A sneaker Conway.
Strela Border, Yerwa.
Here too, the erection of a great landmark would be the signpost of this growth.
Yaru to work.
Yarth opa.
Yes, sir.
Each tip for the tails.
Where a few lowly refugees had founded a small village, now rose a mighty city. From there would grow an empire.